I love that song a lot. That's Hobbin. You guys do know. Okay, so a lot to celebrate today, but this unfortunately is also going to be post-dated because we can't celebrate in real time, unfortunately. But next week, we might actually have quite a lot to celebrate. But let's just wait till next week and keep things pushing for now. Anyway, if you know me, I love to celebrate with champagne. So, no. Seriously, a lot of good things coming our way. Today was a good day. I want to talk about Kanye West. I want to talk about Kanye West, free speech, Twitter, some of the things that he mentioned, some of the things I've heard other people say. Just quite a lot to talk about. Like, oh my God. Okay. So, oh man. Basically, Kanye West has been on Twitter, X, and he has been Kanyeing, you know, he's been fucking like yelling at people, saying mean things, okay, but when we're being honest, like I read some of the things that he said. I'm not on Twitter, obviously, I'm permanently banned, but like where's the lie? I saw the screenshots, like, where's the lie? He was, like, some of the things I guess people are concerned about, he said some things about Beyonce and her children, and that's the thing that's gotten people up in arms. Oh my God. Like, other people have mentioned Beyonce's children might have autism. That, I don't know. I don't know for sure. I'm not in her life, obviously, but even if Beyonce's children have autism, they are going to live a life that is like 20 times better than most people around. So like that, like what Kanye West is saying, it's supposed to be like a mean flex. Oh, retarded children, you know, this is what his point was. It like, it's not really giving what I think he thought it was giving. I'm not sure what he thought it was giving. Either way though, like I'm not sure. Like autism is not something that, neurodivergence is not really something to, it's not really a handicap if you have the proper support. And Beyonce's children are going to have the proper support. So I'm not sure like what he was trying to cap at. Like, also the funny thing about this, I think that Kanye West believes that him having children with Kim Kardashian is some sort of flex. Like he improved his genetics in that way. And I could write a whole essay about how I believe that Kanye West specifically tainted his genetic pool by procreating with Kim Kardashian. Like, worst decision of his life. But to this day, he seriously believes that his children are a flex. And who are we to tell him otherwise? All we can do is sit here with our opinions, which are not really positive. Okay? Like, not all of us have an ambition to be a Kardashian. Maybe you do. If you have that ambition, I truly feel like this is not the space for you. Feel free to exit left now. Bye. Anyway, so here's the thing, and I feel like I've actually talked about this before, but let's like roll the wheel back for a second. Like Kanye West is a billionaire with a B. And you don't get to be a billionaire with a B without being really good at something. Just having a marketable skill in this society, translating that marketable skill into capitalism, and like hitting the fucking market. Like people in your field are going to know who you are. Like we maybe don't know who Warren Buffett is, but if you are a finance bro, you definitely know who Warren Buffett is because he's like a god in the space. Like maybe you're not in tech, but if you are in tech, you definitely know Bill Gates and pretty, significant aspects of his story because he's in your field. That's what it means to be great. And Kanye West is great. Like you can You can argue it. You can, you know, talk about his shortcomings and all that shit. That's fine. That's fine. You can't take away his greatness though. Like there's like you can pick a Kanye era and there's greatness in that era. All of them, even the current ones. I would almost like to unpack some of his current stuff. Like I really feel like I missed Runaway, but Runaway was actually this incredible film, which I feel like told the story of basically almost like an exotical on the run. Now I missed all of this, but for some reason everyone else didn't miss it, and they like quite a lot of people for a very long time believed that like I was the girl in the Runaway music video. I am not the girl in the Runaway music video. I hadn't seen it until like guys started sending me this, which was like really strange. I was like, I don't even know what this is. But it's like a 22-minute music video where kind of Kanye West talks a little bit, but he unpacks tribalism. He unpacks like social class, exclusion, othering, how do you say, like noviceness. There's all of these themes in that movie. You should go watch it. It was almost like it was Kanye's lemonade moment. I think other people seem to think whatever Life of Pablo was, I missed that too. But that was like his, you know, lemonade moment. I don't know. I personally was a fan of College Dropout, and it was just like very relevant. I'm a college dropout. Like, I don't know. He was like the first person to kind of tell this story of like alt academia and like, other like almost like the meaning in society outside of the realm of collegiate merit, and almost like not what to do when you don't succeed in that realm, because his parents were academics, right? They're both like researchers, but just really interesting. I don't know. But let's go back. So we know that like Kanye West in his own right is like a very successful person, but he's also like so he's like very well known in his field, and so he's known for being like really good at what he does in his field, which is like he's a really good like director, like beat maker, but also he makes really good music. He has a keen eye for like fashion, like high fashion specifically. You can basically credit all like the Kim Kardashian aesthetic. She is a creation of Kanye West's mind. Like he was her stylist for like 10 years. Like everything that you see visually, aesthetically about Kim Kardashian came from Kanye's mind. So especially if you're a Kardashian follower, you can like pretty much credit all of that to Kanye West. That's saying a lot because, you know, she's got a lot of influence, and everything that she knows about fashion came from that man. So give him credit where credit is due. Anyway, okay, so basically that, just given the stats, like one day in Kanye's world is going to be like 100 years to like the average Joe, especially the average American Joe. I mean, oh my fucking God, like people have never gotten out anywhere, done like anything. They have like no credible life experience at all. This man has done a lot. So for people to like blanketly always call him like crazy for everything that he says that is unpopular, give us valid critiques with more words that mean more things. I appreciate the people who come with the like anti-Semitic rhetoric. At least they have a point. They're like, he said this, which is like against Jewish people. And then you read the thing that he said and he's like, I hate Jewish people. Like, and you're like, that makes sense. See how like the words and the ideas are matching up. I'm not saying that it's right. You should definitely like, you know, have your own worldview here. Maybe I don't follow Kanye on that one, but I'm saying like the arguments make sense. There's a bunch of stuff that he said. He gave critiques about female rappers. He talked about how he didn't like that Playboy Cardi was on some track with his daughter or something like that. And then there's a lot of conversation about some conversation that Kanye West had with P. Diddy. Now, P. Diddy is in jail. Now, here is my take on this. Do I think that Diddy did things that are just wrong, that he should be prosecuted for? Yes. I truly think that like 60% of like the stuff that they're claiming he did, he actually did it. Here's where the lines get really blurry. I really do truly think that because Diddy is a black male, his like consequences are harsher than others, and he is being prosecuted for things that a lot of other people in his realm, like his colleagues, they did the same things that he did, and they are just like walking free, and that's unfair. I think that's basically his entire argument. So he's making all these comments, the devil is a lie, all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, the reality is there are many, 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 many men, right? In the words of 50 Cent, who have done just crazy foul shit. Like, do I think that he participated? Like, there are women who are coming out talking about how, like, these men, some of the basketball, it was like Drewski, the basketball player, like they hit, and Diddy had all like run trains on them. I think that these women are telling the truth. Like, I've said it, like many people have said it, but like sports players are like the scum of the earth. Straight up. They're all trying to come out and pretend like they're Christian and all this shit now. But like, I can't describe it. Like, they're like really, really, really seriously like bad men who do like really bad things. It is actually really shocking to me how any of them go on and get married, because like they're like awful, like 99, like 364 days out of the year, they are up to some fuck shit. Like that, like how is it that every single club promoter, every person in entertainment has a story about like athletes being here and there and here and doing all this shit, and everyone can kind of agree on it, except when it's time to get on TV, all of a sudden they all have wives and children and they're all like fathers of the year. I call bullshit, okay? Like, these men are trash, and Diddy's trash too, but they were all participating together, and therefore like it's almost like nobody needs to take the fall, so that like everyone can just continue with their bad behavior. Then there's other parts of this though, because there are some things that Diddy said that I do think are concerning. He basically said, "I appreciate you, Kanye, for looking after my kids. No one else did." That's really interesting, because like Cassie is just like the most, how do you say it? The most public figure with the most, it's not a relatable story. The story just adds up, because like so many of us knew, like if you're like a girl into pop culture, especially if you were into pop culture basically when Rihanna was like when Rihanna was making music, Cassie was kind of like the muse behind Rihanna's influence, if that makes any sense. Like Cassie, she had like one or two songs that were great, but she was like Diddy's girlfriend, Diddy's like public girlfriend. So she was at every event, she had the coolest fashion. Like Cassie would do a hairstyle. Like, you know how Rihanna had that era where she had like half of her head was shaved off? She literally got that look from Cassie. Like Cassie one day at a basketball game came and had her head shaved off, and it was like the coolest things. Like the blogs were like super buzzing. It's like, wow, Cassie's so cool. And then Rihanna got that same hairstyle and like put it in music videos and stuff. But the inspiration behind that was Cassie. This goes back to so many other things, like hairstyles, clothes, shoes. Like if you're a fashion girly, Cassie was the moment. So we all know who Cassie is. But so basically when she comes out and she's saying behind the scenes, here's all this shit that was happening. It was really bad for me. And then we see the video of him like beating her in the hallway. It just like makes sense. It's like, yes, so she was a victim of domestic violence in this case. It kind of all adds up. Here's the thing, and this is what I've been saying that I don't understand, and it really makes me side-eye Holly weird, and I just want people to be more aware, because I hold my stance here. I think that LA and Holly weirdos are a very strange place, and like nothing has changed. What has changed is like Nashville and conservatism has also become popular, so it's in direct contrast to Holly weirdos. Like they didn't get less weird. They still do all the awkward, like really like wonky shit. It's just there's a whole other group of people, and then you've got like the Mormon Utah influencers. There's like other groups of people that people can pull from who have kind of big platforms, other thoughts, and different sets of values. So it's like Holly weirdos no longer reign supreme. That's like important. So wait, how does this come back to like Diddy and what he's saying? Well, all the people in LA, I think they all knew what was going on with Diddy and Cassie, And then kind of just all of the other weirdness around his parties. Like, why are we all being silent here? Like, Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie, that crew, they were at every Diddy party. Every fucking Diddy party, they were there. Like, it was very known that, like, Paris Hilton gets dressed up to go to Diddy's white parties. Like, I feel like 4 people have written songs about this. It's like a quotable moment. So it's not just them. It's like literally like everyone basically. The way that I wrote it, like I wrote a little bit about this the other day, and I was like, everyone who did not come up on YouTube or like a social influencer in some way is a part of that. Like they're a part of that like really strange wacko-ness that was going on over there. And I can't describe it all because like I personally don't go there. I don't even affiliate with my family members who are there. Like, this is me, this is them. Like, I fucking don't know. I can talk about like you know, bad character traits and like really like unnecessarily petty girls, like a lot, and I mean like a lot. Like a girl who went to high school with me was Kim Kardashian's stylist, and her crew went to LA, and for me personally, I knew right away that city was toxic. Like, I can't do that. Like, that's a level of like brutality and ruthlessness that like I just can't get behind. Like, I can't. Like, that's not that. I have to be somewhere else. It's like all encompassing. Like, here's a like it's like an analogy, but it's like not. Like, think about this for a second. LA catches on fire, and I think they said it was like 40,000 acres of land was burned. Paris Hilton's house burned to the ground. But Kim Kardashian stole all the water in the city and saved her own house. Like, put that into perspective. Like, a lot of people's homes burned. Like, a lot of celebrities, a lot of normal people. Like, everybody's shit burned down. Kim Kardashian somehow got all the water in LA for those few days and saved her own property. And I think like all the affiliated properties that she owns and all y'all shit burned to the ground. Like, that, when I read that, and then I think I saw videos of that, that's what I mean. That's like a different level of like, I fucking hate you and I will take your shit to save my life. Like, I will step on your neck in order to get ahead. I don't care. Like everybody's shit is like burning. Like, have you seen the videos of the LA fire? Like, that is actually crazy. Like, it was just like everything is on fire. And like, California's in a real drought. Like, even when I was there in Napa, like the smoke and the flames from Napa burning were so heavy that even in Berkeley, like, you know, the air quality is bad. Sometimes you can't go out. It's not even in the same city. It's like 8 hours away. But that's how like serious the fires were. Like, I can't, like, be serious right now. Like, you can, like, those people like Kanye and Kim and the world and privilege and just amount of they don't fucking care about you that they live in compared to everybody else. Like, I don't know how anyone is being serious right now trying to say like what Kanye is talking from his own lived perspective that like we can't relate to it. Probably nobody except for him and like Kim can relate to whatever the fuck they're going through. And that's another thing too. It's just very strange to hear like all this commentary about like other people when there's like no relative connection. Like, you can't relate to someone who like you don't relate to. Like, you guys don't have anything in common. You have no mutual friends. Like, you aren't going to the same places. You don't have the same interests. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have the same background or history. The converse, like, you'd have to spend a ridiculous amount of time with a person like that to start to build common ground. it's not just gonna like magically come, because there's all of this context that people are missing. That was basically my whole point in talking about this. I just want to make that clear. The distance between Kanye and everyone else is like 4 lifetimes, maybe like 6 lifetimes. There's probably like 4 or 5 Kanye albums that will come out in like, I don't know, when he has his own fucking empire or like continent or some shit, people will finally start to like understand. I don't know. It's real weird though. Like, let him say what he's saying, right, and have his opinions about things. Call it out, I guess, if you like strongly disagree with it. But don't gaslight it and make it seem like he doesn't know what he's talking about. That's the part that I don't like. Simply say it's mean, you don't like it, you don't agree with it, whatever. Oh, the other thing I wanted to point out, people are probably confused about like why he's going to Diddy right now. Like, of all the people, like, why would he be running to him? I think that, like, first of all, there's just not that many extremely wealthy Black Americans, and like especially Black American men, right? So you've got like Diddy, Jay-Z, and you've got like Kanye, and there's like probably 2 or 3 others. But those 3 are specifically in like music and entertainment. So like who when anything goes on, who else would they talk to just about like unpacking their own lived experiences? They're the only ones who've gone through that. There's no way that can be that confusing. So yeah, I don't know. I think that, I think Kanye at this point should get a podcast or something. It just really feels like he should go down a Joe Rogan path. It feels like he has a lot of thoughts and ideas about stuff that he is like, you know, unpacking. And the productive way for him to unpack that would be to have conversations with experts in those fields. Like, Kanye should go sit down with some actual Jewish people and start to like unpack these unpack these opinions. Like, I thought some of the conversations he was having with Candace Owens, those were like really honest. Also, they were like, it was just like such a Black American conversation that was like crazy. Like, from the inside words that they were using, like it was the verbiage, it was like their body language, the references are just like, wow, I don't know if I've ever seen something that's like more Black American than those 2 people like talking. Just like what they were talking about, just all of it was like wild. Like, if you should go watch that if you haven't seen that. I don't know. I'm not trying to encourage anyone to like be a fan of Kanye or anything. I'm simply saying his unpopular opinions are not coming unfounded. There's reasons why he's saying that, and I think if you're unable or unwilling to like unpack the reasons why he's saying these things, then just let it go. Like, stop talking about it and pretending like you understand something that like you don't, because that's weird. It's like for me to start giving one-off opinions about physics. It's like, I don't really know shit about physics. Like, I had to take the physics classes that like I had to take to like the grad requirements, but like outside of that, I am not like a physics major in any capacity. I'm not gonna sit here pretending like I know shit that it's like I don't. You know what I mean? Ugh. Weird.